Hello and welcome back. I am Dr. Anshu coming back with today editorial. I updated everyday's current affairs, so if you not visit, just check out the yesterday's editorial. So let's have a recap of today's editorial. The front page is covering about the 30 dead injuries in the stampede as a crowd surged at a Mahakumbh. ISRO's 100th launch lift the Navig satellite. Going to the second page, it's Odisha secure investment proposal worth 16.73 lakh crore at Utkarsh Summit. It's about the Kumbh stampede minor incident happened at big events, say UP Minister. Moving to next is the Chirag Ved into BPSC row 6 re-exams at all center. Both were in the old and new schemes to look out for a budget day. Fifth one covering is the copyright conundrum in Carnatic music. Sixth one covering the broken promises in a warming world. There are 2 and 3 editorials and text opinions also added. A data and chart projects. It's about the how many cases lost under the triple talaq SC asked center. Ninth one is covering about the Republic Day celebration end with a beating retreat ceremony. 10th one covering 11th one was the rooftop solar installation scheme reaches 8.5% of 1 crore house target. So let's coming with the front page and start the today editorial. So it's about the 30 dead injuries and 60 injured in stampede as crowd surged at Mahakumbh. The Mahakumbh that has begun yesterday on the Mauni Amavas. At that occasion, many many people's 30 were dead and 60 injured. So basically it's about the Wednesday a barricade collapsed amid the surge of massive crowd on Akhara Marg and people rushed to the other side, trampling pilgrims waiting for a dip at Sangam at auspicious hour. So unfortunately 30 devotees lost their lives and 60 people suffered injuries. Basically, between 1 and 2 a.m. before the Brahma Muhurat, a massive crowd built upon Akhara Marg in Mela area. So there is a Vaibhav Krishna, the Deputy Speaker General, Mahakumbh administration carried out the rescue operations. The deceased, the 25 have been identified, while rest are not. So this stampede occurred on the day of Mauni Amavasya. 4 of the deceased from Karnataka, 2 from Gujarat, and 1 from Assam. These people are identified who are that stampede occurred, and 36 are currently undergoing treatment in local medical college. Hours of incident, the Uttar Pradesh government announced a 3-member judicial inquiry commission headed by Justice Harsh, retired former judge of Allahabad High Court. There's another more news about the Kumbh stampede covering the second page. It's about the Kumbh stampede, a minor incident happening at a big event, says a big UP minister. So Uttar Pradesh Minister Sanjay Nisad on Wednesday expressed the grief over stampede in Mahakumbh and of minor incidents. He's the chief of Nishad Party and Fisheries Minister in the Yogi Adityanath UP government. So rumors everywhere. He also said that rumors. He said CM Adityanath is looking into the matter. One should take a bath whenever one finds space, and one should not believe in rumors added like Samajwadi Party Akhilesh Yadav allegations of mismanagement of Mahakumbh. He said he would not to comment on it. Government alert. 30 people died and were injured that occurred in Mahakumbh. So the front page also covering the one more news, that is ISRO's 100th launch of Lift Navig satellite. So the ISRO on Wednesday launched the historic 100th mission. It's a 100th mission. It's GSLV F-15, lifting the navigation satellite from Satish Dhawan Space Center in Harikota. So the launch vehicle is indigenous cryogenic stage and spaceport. It is launched at 6:23 a.m. The rocket successfully placed in NVS 02 satellite in intent orbit. So moving to the next news. It's about the Odisha secured invest proposal of worth 60.73 lakh crore at Utkarsh Summit CM. So basically, it was a investment proposal for 12.89 lakh crore, though the 145 memorandums. So here the 8.94 lakhs were 8.9 new jobs created, and 8.94 lakh new jobs. This will trigger the change of socio-economic life. The Viksit Bharat by 2047, there is a 448 investment in the worth 3.84 lakh expected to the create, and 3.92 lakh additional jobs. We are dedicated to work to achieve the goal. So the Viksit Bharat developed by 2047, we are giving emphasis, and these projected Mr. Maji added. So this was a representation from also the 16 countries including Singapore, Malaysia and Australia. So the moving to the next is the Chirag Paswan waits into the BPC Road Chig 6 re-exam at all centers. So he's a Union Minister Chirag Paswan demands to conduct a retest for exam that held by the BPSC on 13th December, and there is a protest for conducting the retest exams. So the NDA constituent but not a part of government in states, she said he learned about irregularities large scale. A 70 BPS exam should be demand the student genuine. Basically, he is a real leader that supports the student, and Mr. Paswan said should listen the grievances of student. आयोग कान में तेल डालकर छात्रों की बातों को सुनने को तैयार नहीं है, छात्रों की बात सुनने की तैयार नहीं है. So BPC is just turning a difference. Basically, he also accept the negligence, like there is acceptance of some negligence during the exam, and his own family members including his nephew Naisi had appeared the exam and experienced the mismanagement. So it triggered the available but not available for everyone. So shortly a total of 328,990 candidates have taken exam at 912 centers, and in which 21,551 clear it. Many candidates boycotted the exam, alleging that they did not receive question papers. It held at 4 centers, and exam taken the new retest that was held on January 4 at 22 center. 5,943 eligible candidates given that exam. So this exam was triggered basically. So moving to the next article, it's about the old and new scheme that important and most important editorial you can say. Just here you can get all the budgets in this one column. Just from the exam point of view, this is very important data. The schemes which are covering this is not so important, but this like which scheme is related to. Like first one is the PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana, Center for Excellence in Artificial Intelligence, Indian AI Mission, National Green Hydrogen Mission. First one is for rooftop solar panels, Center for Excellences Research and Development, India AI Mission to catalyze AI innovation system to make the global hub for production, uses and export of green hydrogen. So it's the there is also a Namaste scheme, watch the National Action for Mechanized Sanitation, that is to ensure the safety and dignity of sanitation workers, to ensure the delivery and mechanized sanitations. So also schemes of older schemes allocation, which is like regional connectivity, smart cities mission, payment, Prime Minister Employment Generation, PMGP. So also schemes like there's also a PLI, Public Link Incentive Schemes, will launch like large scale industry, electronic and hardwares, food processing industry, white goods, footwear, Indian sectors, multiple drone and components. There's a schemes which promote electric mobility. In crores is FAME, electric mobility schemes to promote the passengers in India's SMEC. To just have a look for one time and just remember these schemes. So it's a copyright of conundrum in Carnatic music. So basically the writer is telling here that if there is a copyright of conundrum, if you know the Carnatic music, So there is not any origination where it comes from and what else. But if you know that you learn it, then there is not any copyright in that music. Basically here the Chennai Rasikas commissioners hope to concert while the tuning keep in mind copyright. The example is giving here, like the performance versus the forward of unauthorized. The Indian Performing Society, Eastern India, Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer asked the composition and they remain unanswered in Parliament. So their copyright across the world defines the music as a melody composition which is reduced to print. The song is born for a synchronized efforts, composer, lyrics, and other performers. The composer lyrics get protection for their respective creations. And separate recording called it's mechanical right, and this is granted for one who record the song. Just let me that article. So the Carnatic music, the Karnatak, is derived from the Karnatak Sangeet, already written here, denotes the traditional or codified music. So what is the idea of music? Like copyright across the law, what defined music as a melody, that is a composition which is reduced to print. The idea that music is only a composition stem from Western classical understanding of music. The lawmakers of Indian Copyright Act 1984 1914 failed to understand Indian music before. So there is a realm of copyright law and they followed music or should music law. So a song is born after the synchronized efforts, already I've told, it's mechanical and this is guaranteed to one who records the song. So it's about the changing the laws. The improvisation made by a performer on a stage could be spontaneous and it could be response to interest displayed by audience. The choice of accompanying music could also result in altogether different version of song. In several cases, the performer themselves may not be in position to replicate exactly in same the way for second time. So the improvisation made by the performer is neglected and there is no scope to grant protection for it under copyright. So while the composition of Purandhara Dasa were conventionally sung in ragas associated with Carnatic music, Pandit Bhimsen Joshi took it upon himself to introduce the wide collection of Purandaras Dasa composition of merit variety like Ippo, Avrana, cannot be imagined without the soulful touch of Madurai money layer. Musicians should also have to confirm their soulful additions and commercially exploit their performances. So the flow of royalty from streaming should be strengthened. Currently, music follows the law. Should the law not be changed to protect the right of Carnatic musician and letter spirit? So moving to the next is the broken promises in a warming world. So here the writer is telling about that how the US President Trump decision to pull the United Nations out of Paris agreements, which is legally come to effect in a year. So it is a major blow to a global efforts to combat the threat posed by anthropogenic global warming. The US, the world richest nation, owning a third world's health with the highest annual gross domestic product. So it is like the cumulative emission of carbon dioxide. The principle in the terms of UNFCCC. So the UNFCCC, which is a US signatory, supposed to take a lead, which prevailing means to developing countries to do same. So the Kyoto protocols. Just wait a minute. So After Trump visiting is being made by the Biden administration's an effort at climate action. So the US become the world highest producer of crude oil under the Biden administration. The paltry targets is $300 billion at COP29 Baku. COP29 Baku. Uh, so which outcome the joint audacity of US which developing countries allies. Biden song had updated the nationally determined contribution submitted in December 2024. So what is the action and reaction is like the reactions of US withdrawal from climate diplomats, national spokesperson, media in general, UNFCCC, Simon Stelz and many other from sterling investment is the opportunity for private capital. The green transitions now provide America contribution to climate disclosure. So the change in mitigations and over in fact 80% of primary energy use is in US and 70% of it in European Union. So Academia of Civil Society in Global North have also been complicated in promoting the illusion that despite national withdrawal, the action by some subnational government, corporation, local communities could substitute. Instead, the University of Colorado of Law School published 2024 note as the number of states moving to the anti-regulatory emission, so larger than those of emissions reflect reductive in strategies. So the extent of complication one by climate serious with the successive reports of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change IPCC. So advice for developing countries. The subsequent substance it may recall that the details of implementation of Paris Agreement were finalized during the northern increasing part. An executive order of withdrawn return to global climate. So the adherence of multilateralism is not genuflections to moral principle but necessary to the climate action. So it is ultimate analysis global climate action that is just equitable and effective requires the political will. The future will the climate actions bring all the other nations to bring US back to the path of reason and meaningful international cooperations. So it's about the bridging the milk divide for nutritionally secure India. So first one was who has started the white revolution. It's the Virgin Couriers, which propelled India to become the world largest milk. So here the writer is just giving a comparison of the who is nutritionally secure. What are the consumptions, which state consuming more, which are at lowest, and there is also comparison of urban and rural areas of milk consumptions. So let's have a look. So the household consumption expenditure survey of HEC national survey, it's the household consumer expenditure survey HECS by national sample survey NSSO. So it's survey by HCES, it's by national sample survey NSSO. Shows that the household in top income decile consume 3 to 4 times more milk as per capita compared to sharper increase in consumption. So the lower income group is the poorest among. They consume the 30% consume poorest 30% consume just 18% of India's milk. So here the first one is about the lower income group, the poorest 30% consume just 80% milk. So the consumption disparities in NSO primarily captures at home consumption, which is only about 50% of total milk production. So out of home milk consumption and the if accounted for this, one would likely enlarge the consumption differences. Two is the consumption disparity shows a regional, social, local, urban divide than the rural ones, despite the most milk being produced in rural India. Among the social group, the scheduled tribe household consume 4 liters of less milk per capita compared to general category. And the household regionally states such as Rajasthan, Punjab, and Haryana consumes between 33 grams to 421 grams. And the low consuming states are Chhattisgarh, Odisha, West Bengal, just by 75 gram to 171 gram. So the focus on vulnerable. So there is also a dietary variation of lactose intolerance level partly explain these national disparities. Affordability is a key barrier. National Institute consume 300 gram of per capita of milk daily for an average sedentary adult. Basically, in 500 gram, two people can just use that milk. A healthy average adult should be take at least one glass of milk that comprises up to 50 and 300 gram of milk. So the level of consumption would be the 70% of Indian household spend 30% of their totally monthly income expenditure in milk. So meanwhile, the urban households are likely consume more double recommended levels, which include high fat, high sugar products such as ice cream, packaged milk, based sweets raises concern. So the pregnant and lactating women are elderly low setting incomes is critical here is now. The first is enhanced milk provision for the vulnerable though the Mantri Poshan Pradhan Mantri Poshan Shakti Nirman its Poshan scheme. Integrated child development services meals and take home ration and take home collaborate with institutions such as National Institute of Nutrition to integrate milk preferences and tolerance of Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Haryana, Telangana, these schemes, but quantities remain insufficient. So the boosting to the financial allocations and schemes could yield. So the substantial returns the government can explore innovative financing options, social bond, tapping corporate and the funding gradually increasing the unhealthy food. Second is the emphasis of nutritional benefits of the milk. Another locally appropriated food. Anganwadi centers such as doctors, self-help group and other civil society organizations Bihar are already leading the organizing grassroots for interventions in Poshan Ma 2024. So this UK model. So the UK model third is promote the healthy consumptions of awareness and using the partnership with doctors, influencers, media, health messaging should encourage moderation in milk consumptions, diverse balanced diet, and they can mitigate the change for life sugar quams. Like there is examples of sugar swaps campaign in UK, which reduces the sugar and which reduces and fat consumption. It offers a model for similar initiative in India. So milk plays an important role in India's nutrition security. So while moderating overconsumption among affluent would Varghese Kurian vision of nutritionally secure India, making benefit of milk revolution accessible to all. So just moving to the next. It's the how many cases laws under triple talaq law SC asked center. So the Supreme Court on Wednesday ordered that the center to collect the number of criminal cases that was main penalize the declaration of triple talaq. The utterance of triple talaq was declared and void by constitutional majority on August 2017. Like there is a Muslim Protection Act of Marriage came in 2009, which forced the retrospective effect of September 19, 2018. Basically, there was the law that was in the Muslim region of triple talaq. The talaq can also held also on the phone call. So there is many cases that are still pending lost here. So the law held the triple talaq to be non-bailable offence punishable with a 3 years imprisonment. These are laws that came on September 19, 2018 from the Act of Muslim Women Protection or Right of Marriage. The court questioned the point of penal law when the practice the divorce by triple talaq had itself declared void. The relationship has a husband and wife continue. What you have a criminalized then the process. So Justice Sanjeev Khanna, Solicitor General, Tushar Mehta appearing for the center. So here is the recorded of the center to record the number of first information registered against the Muslim men under 2019 acts, and specifically wanted advocate Nizam Pesha appearing for petition said the law included by penalize even the threat of divorce. So there is a strict laws that penalize the even the threat of divorce. There is a Mr. Pasha responded to Section 50C of IPC did not, however, criminalize an intellectual to threat made by husband to wife to divorce her. The solicitor said the law was brought uh, counter the abandonment of Muslim women by their husbands. So there was a effect of triple talaq, instantaneous, irregular, evocal. You say talaq to your wife, and the very next moment she is not your wife, she said. But Pasa interject the point that practice of triple talaq ceased to have any legal effect since the Supreme Court declared it manifestly arbitrary in the Saira Bano case in 2017. The famous case about triple talaq in 2017. Justice Khanna, and after hearing the triple talaq was a good thing, but indications of criminalizing the practice after it was declared void would raise the doubts. So moving to the next. Is the Republic Day celebrations end with a beating retreat ceremony? Finally, there's a Republic Day celebration is ended with the beating retreat ceremony. The President bodyguard salutes the President Draupadi Murmu. The bands of Army, Navy bands, Indian Army, Air Force, Central Armed Police Forces played a 30-foot tapping tunes during the ceremony, which was attended by President Draupadi Murmu, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, PM Rajnath, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. So that this is a focus on 75 year of enactment of Constitution and people participation on Republic Day celebration with a unique blend of India's culture, diversity, unity in and military power. The beating retreat begin with a president who is also the supreme commander in armed forces, arriving in colonial era, and the welcome the ceremony with masses banded कदम कदम बढ़ाए जाओ ट्यून भारती वैली गंगा यमुना and Pichar Veer Station by pipelines drummed banded. CPF band played a Vijay Bharat, Rajasthan, Ae Watan Tere Liye, Bharat Ke Jawan. The IF played a Galaxy Rider, Stride, Millennium Fight, Fantasy, Pratham Nishak Nispat, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Rhythm of Riff and Jai Bharati. It was followed by Army's band which played a Takat Watan, Mere Yuva Bharat, Dhruv, Faulat Ke Jigar. This event came to close with a ever popular tune of Sare Jahan Se Acha played by the Buglers. So the army band was Subedar Major Honorary and MPCO Ashok Kumar. The conductor of CFA band was a head constable is GD Mahajan. GD Mahajan Kailash Madhav Rao, and the first beating retreat ceremony in India was held in, just remember this fact, the first beating retreat was held in 1955 during the Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. It was conceived by Major G. R. Roberts and commissioned by PM Jawaharlal Nehru. So moving to the next is, I've just added 2 slides, let me delete it. So we are on the last slide. So the rooftop solar installation scheme reaches the 8.5% of 1 crore house targets. So basically the scheme was PM Surya Ghar Bijli Yojana. There was a launched nearly a year center launched the 75,000 crore PM Surya Ghar scheme. 8.5 lakh household have installed roof of Union Minister for New Renewable Energy. Prahlad Joshi has sent a public event. Inauguration of Ram Temple in Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The scheme was officially launched in February 15, 2024. So this target the installation of 1 crore household installation across India. So what is targeted likely to meet within the next 2 to 3 years. Last month, Parliamentary Standing Committee Energy remarked the slow pace of installation and only a 5 lakh of installation. A total 20 lakh application was made. So there was a slow pace of installation. Only 5 lakh installation. Over 20 lakh application have been made for Surya Ghar portal had been completed as of October. So he explained that 3,000 in day the number of installation was seen as a 9,000. So subsidy given was the scheme of 60% solar unit cost per system is 2 kilowatt capacity and 40% additional system consists of 2 kilowatt and 3 kilowatt capacity. So the current benchmark prices is means 30,000 subsidy for 1 kilowatt, 60,000 for 2 kilowatt, 78,000 for 3 kilowatt. So India's installation of renewable has risen 200%. from the 75.52 gigawatt 2020 to 20, and what connected to solar power plants has decreased by 18% from the 10.95 per unit to 1011 to just 2.15 unit, making a leader affordable renewable energy. So finally all the slides have ended. I've completed all the today's important articles and editorials. So let's have a quick summary. Covering the front page about a 30 dead and 6 injured in stampede as a crowd surge at Mahakumbh. ISRO's 100th launch lift Navig satellite. So Odisha secured investment of proposal worth 16.73 lakh crore at Utkarsh Summit. Kumbh stampede minor incident event at a big UP minister. Third one is about the Chirag Paswan wades into the BPC road to seek the re-exam at all center. Fourth one is about covering the new, what are the old and new schemes to look out the budget day. Sixth one is covering the broken promises in the warming world. Seventh editorial is about the bridge the milk divide the nutritionally secure India. Eighth one is covering about the how many cases lost under the triple talaq. Republic Day celebration end with a beating retreat ceremony. 10th one is covering about the rooftop solar installation schemes, which is 8.5% of 1 crore house target. So that's for today. I've covered every important articles. So bye bye. Next time we'll meet tomorrow with a new editorial. Till now, take care, study hard, and good night.